Hi all, I'm Jukka Suomela, a computer science professor at Aalto University, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts on collaborations between humanists and computer scientists. Let's say you are a researcher working in humanities and you'd like to get some idea of whether your own research would benefit from some kind of a collaboration with computer scientists. Of course, there are always two sides here. First, can you see any use for computers in your research? And second, is there something in your research that would be interesting also for a computer scientist? Ideally, the end result would be something that neither of you could have done alone, and something where both of you were able to do some exciting research. Now, let's start with the first question. Where could you benefit from the use of computers in your research? Often, when people start to think about it, they start to think about some specific advanced computational techniques. Whatever is in the news at the moment, say, could I make use of some deep neural networks somehow in my research? But it's good to stop and remember that where computers really excel is automating lots of simple manual work. Something like putting millions of things in alphabetical order, finding something in a huge database, doing lots and lots of basic calculations. Something you could in principle do with pen and paper. It would just take way more than a lifetime. And these kinds of simple things are something where the use of computers can give a huge boost for your research. So, next time you think about how you could make use of computers, start with the following thought experiment. Imagine you had thousands of friends who are happy to do whatever simple manual work is needed to help you with your research. Your friends don't really know anything about your research area, and maybe they aren't that bright, but as long as you provide them with easy-to-follow instructions, they're happy to do it. And if you can imagine how you could benefit from these thousands of friends to do something you could never do without any help, you have already discovered something where you could most likely benefit also from computers. If you can instruct it to your friends, someone should be able to program it for a computer. Just keep in mind that these thousands of happy little helpers need clear instructions. You can't give them a book and ask them to find all unusual words. They have no idea what you might find unusual. But you could provide them with a dictionary, ask them to look up every single word, see if it's in the dictionary, and list all words that aren't there. Simple instructions, easy to follow. Boring manual work. Now we've got something we can automate with computers easily. Even if this is something that would take years for your happy little helpers, computers can do it in an instant. So, where can you benefit from computers in your research? Basically everywhere where having an army of volunteers under your command would help. But often these are also things where anyone with basic programming skills can do it for you. Do you really need someone who is an expert in computer science? This is very closely connected to the second question. Have you got a research question that a computer scientist would find interesting? Computer science is a very broad field, but let me give one answer from the perspective of someone interested in theoretical computer science and algorithms. Modern computers are fast, very, very fast. Any random laptop can nowadays do literally billions of calculations per second. It's truly amazing how much manual work you could replace with a simple computer program. But as computers get faster, also datasets that people in humanities would like to study get bigger. And it is easy to reach a point where you have a task that you could automate in principle. But it just seems to take forever, even with the fastest modern computers. Let's look at a simple example. You've got a very large text collection with millions of sentences, and for your research, you'd like to know if there is any reused material there. To keep things simple, let's say you'd like to find all sentences that appear more than once. Now, you know how you could instruct an army of volunteers to do this. Take the first sentence. Go through all the text and see if it appears there again. Take the second sentence, go through the rest of the text, see if it appears there again, and so on. You go through the same text over and over again, once for each sentence. And with some basic programming skills, you could also automate this, and it would be quick for a short text. But with modern, huge text collections, this will take a very long time, even for the fastest computer you can find. And this is now a great example of a case where having a chat with a computer scientist who works on algorithms will help. What algorithm researchers are really good at is this. They take something that is easy to automate in principle, but it seems to take forever with large datasets. And they figure out a much faster way of solving the same task. In our example, it's actually pretty easy if you think about it a bit. Let's try to find duplicate sentences directly. Let's do some pre-processing first. Let's list all sentences in our text. And then let's put them in alphabetical order. This is something computers can do quickly. And now, if there are any sentences that are reused, they will be next to each other in this ordered list, so they are easy to spot. And if you now write a computer program that uses this approach, you'll see it will be much faster than what you tried earlier. If you want to put this in fancy terms, we had a computational problem and we designed an efficient algorithm for solving it. So this is one example of scenarios where you could easily start a really fruitful collaboration between humanists and computer scientists. You got a task where you would need to do lots of manual work. And you know how you could do it in principle. It just seems to take forever, even if you use computers. And as soon as you explain this to an algorithm researcher, you have definitely got their attention. Thanks for listening. Have fun doing collaborations in digital humanities with computer scientists.